All right, Friday update, May 21st, 2021. I'm coming to you from the FOP boardroom on the second floor. The boardroom today was the site of contract negotiations. You know, the negotiations the mayor says doesn't take place because the FOP has been stalling. Well, these were already scheduled. She doesn't even know what's going on in her own city. That's just the reality. That being said, this morning, I want everybody to know we addressed a major concern that all our members had, including the lodge, about the cancellation of days off and the 12-hour days coming. And the city's just lack of compassion, understanding, or plain give a damn about social life, family life, or anything else. So this morning, we filed a class action grievance with Management and Labor Affairs on behalf of all lodge members to address that concern in expedited arbitration fashion. So we'll keep you updated on how the progress goes over the next couple of weeks on that specifically. The reason I had said it was close to a contract violation was at the point I gave the special update 2 days ago. We were trying to get clarity from the attorneys on exactly what language meant and what avenues we had to attack it. The lodge has never really addressed it on this level before. Don't know why, not worried about why it hasn't been done before. All I know is I told you we're gonna fight and we are dedicated to making that happen. So a lot of hard work upstairs went into this mindset of what to do and how to attack it, and here we are. Contract negotiations this morning. We did come to an agreement on one topic. Many of you probably won't give a damn on first blush. Some will. It doesn't have a direct impact on your pocketbook necessarily, but we did come to a formal agreement on reinstating the health fair screenings that are in the contract currently. $75,000 a year the lodge gets to conduct those screenings on behalf of the members. It will be a $75,000 a year for this year. Next year it will go up to $300,000 so we can do more broader screenings and kind of diversify what we look for and try and keep our members healthier going forward and saving the city money. The reason to save the city money is because eventually we want to have a Philly Lodge 5 like model where decades ago they instituted a healthcare benefit plan separate from the lodge or the city that institutes healthcare for its members, active and retired. It is a zero contribution paycheck scenario in Philadelphia. The only cost to the members are the copays. It is largely funded, it is totally funded by the city, but the way the savings goes is because the screenings and various programs that Philly does, it catches stuff early and then thus saves the city money. $10 million plus a year is the last 4 years combined. I should say 4-year average. So that's kind of the goal with the health screenings moving forward. Contract proposals. The city attorneys were pretty clear they did not want to bring a financial proposal only to the city council. They are insisting that discipline and reforms are included in this proposal package. I could tell you some of the things that we tendered from the lodge today formally. We had talked about them previously, but formal proposals today addressed those concerns, and they still were not apparently good enough to convince them that they need to present this to city council or even the mayor, I guess. So I'm going to explain it very clearly what the lodge's position has been and try and get the principal components of a contract out of the way and address the smaller issues secondary after the fact. Number one, we all know that retro is awaiting us at some point, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a year from now. It's money that's going to come. We have made a couple different tweaks to what our proposal should be to try and make that a reality separate from everything else. They have said no. The last proposal we have tendered is a 7-year proposal, 3 years going forward, with a 20.5% pay raise. Now, the concern is, oh my God, they'll never agree because the teachers got 16%. You can't get more than the teachers got. Well, we're going 2 years beyond what the teachers got. So that extra 2 years is the 4.5% difference. I'm pretty sure they're not going to take on first offer 2.25% for each year going forward, which would make up the difference. But that's their contract fight, not ours. In reality, that's the financial component. The healthcare component, as I already described, encompasses the health fair screenings and a proposal for new hires going forward about a Illinois State Police-like model where there will be a fitness standard requirement for all new hires for the remainder of their employment with CPD. It would not affect current employees. That, again, would eventually make for a healthier police department, which is going to save the city more money when it comes to healthcare in the future. That's how we address the healthcare issues. They want more. They want an increased contribution across the board, like the firemen agreed to and like the sergeants got stuck with. We are hard, fast. We are not accepting that savings. The city and the mayor in her budget has said they had found over $150 million in savings just by redoing, tweaking, and revising contracts. Well, how can you say you need to increase our cost when you just said you saved money on a healthcare front, and we just are now giving you 2 more options to save money going forward? So we're not even entertaining an increase on a members level. Lastly is the accountability issues. Discipline, discipline, discipline. They backdoored us with their efforts in Springfield, and were successful in large part of getting some stuff addressed in 3653, which we have 9 days to still work on before Monday's deadline next week, or the week after. But as far as accountability in the lodge, we have gone through Article 6 with the city. We came to agreement on about 30% of what they wanted to change. That wasn't enough months ago when we talked about it. One of the other things that's been at the labor board is the city's discipline matrix that the sergeants have, and what we were going to do with that unfair labor practice filing. Well, we gave them tendered a copy of our discipline matrix proposal. That's our version of partial accountability. And the thought is our discipline matrix, along with an expedited arbitration process for minor discipline issues, so we can get the discipline off as quickly as possible, and it meets the consent decree requirements. It is in large part, thankfully, I guess you should say, why Sidney Roberts was basically forced out the door at COPA because of the length of investigations. There is many things that we are trying to address, even with the discipline, as a good faith offer that the city still thinks those components that I just all mentioned to you was not enough of a package to present on the floor of City Council to the aldermen for a vote and worry about the rest of the contract later. We couldn't be more in disagreement. We think those are major issues that the city has never got the opportunity to discuss with the lodge. And one other component that we even brought up was a Tier 3 pension. A Tier 3 pension would be pretty similar to a Tier 2 pension with a couple exceptions. It would, number one, it would have a cap out of the rank of lieutenant. There would be no more gold braid pensions at all, or the 125% formula right now for step 10 pay. It is flat out based on a max of a lieutenant's pension for everybody above that rank. New hires. Also, at some point, we'd have to agree upon what the higher contribution rate would be for the employee going forward for new hires only, not current Tier 1 or Tier 2 members, only Tier 3 new hires. And in exchange for that, we are asking for a healthcare option for coverage for members specifically who are maxed out and not 55 years old. Anybody with 29 in a day from 50 to 54 should not be stuck in this job if they want to leave, but they have to stay here for the healthcare coverage. That was the trade-off there. So those are the main components that we put forth. I think those are major breakthrough kind of ideas and proposals. It should be more than enough to get a basic understanding proposal signed and agreed upon and even ratified at City Council. And the rest of the contract we can work out down the road. That's all I have for now. I hope that clears up any confusion. don't forget, we still have Great America tickets available for the July picnic. With that being said, have a safe holiday and everybody stay healthy. We're going to do our damnedest to put a stop to this 12-hour nonsense. And I'll say it as I said it on Wednesday. The vote of no confidence was not a John Catanzara or even a Lodge 7 vote of no confidence for the mayor, for the superintendent, and for the first deputy. The vote of no confidence was from the membership. It was a motion from the floor. It was seconded from the floor at the general meeting, and it was a unanimous vote, a resounding unanimous vote from the floor, not a single no. I mean, people couldn't scream yes loud enough. So the mayor's implication that this is somehow a badge of honor because John Catanzara gave her a vote of no confidence. It was the men and women of the Chicago Police Department who think she is doing a terrible job. It is the men and women of the Chicago Police Department who have no faith in the superintendent or the first deputy and what they do on a daily basis as far as manpower, robbing district manpower, canceling days off, and not allowing members to have a family life or a social life. So that's the reality to it. Everybody have a good night.